And for the first time in their history, this season has been special as we are underway. Baylor in the home whites and Hawaii in the road blacks.
Well, the big question for Hawaii today is, can they handle the inside game of Baylor? You see Queen Egbo right there. She's another queen out there. And then Melissa Smith, of course, #1, who's the queen on the chessboard.
Capital One starting lineups: Phillips, Imai, Spiller, Atwell, and Davies for Hawaii. And right away, it's Atwell, her 200th made three in her illustrious Hawaii careers down.
And that's what Atwell does. Again, she grew up playing netball, has that high arcing shot. Of course, if you followed netball, there's no backboard in it, so you get used to looking at that rim and scoring without one.
Here's Smith, two-time All-American, lets it fly off the front rim. And it's Spiller with the rebound. And a turnover. We'll give it right back as Nikki Collin, her first year as the head coach in a college system. She was head coach with the Atlanta Dream and the WNBA Coach of the Year in 2018. But her first season here in Waco, and has them here, thought they were going to be a #1 seed. Lost in the Big 12 title game to Texas, who also earned a 2 seed. So I think they're a little bit salty. They want to prove they should have been a 1 seed, and their sights are not just set on the Final Four, it's on a national championship.
Well, absolutely. It took a while for this team, really, with the new coaching staff to gel. A little bit of a different style in their wide open offense. They will move people around, as we mentioned before, with their bigs. They'll pull them out, allow them to shoot threes, give them more ability to use that mobility that they have.
Queen Egbo, 72% foul shooter, knocks in both. 6'3" senior from Houston, Texas. Baylor on the board. Another 3-ball, Atwell, and that's right in the face of Egbo, and it's good for 3.
Just a little weak side screen right there, and Egbo not able to get out on that. She needs to close out quicker, get a hand in the face.
Smith, big 1-2 in the lane, and that popcorn's out and deflected off of a Hawaii defender, so it will remain Baylor basketball. 20 on the shot clock. Lob to the athletic Egbo, and she scores off the window.
Well, the one thing that Nikki Collin will do is she will be strategic about how she attacks teams, and she sees an advantage right now with that Egbo-Spiller matchup, and she has gone to it 3 times early.
Egbo, one of the best athletes in the nation at 6'3", and that pass was right to us. I don't think that is where Imai intended that one to go. Although you were a heck of a player back in your time, Andrew.
Yeah, well, I couldn't do this. You know, Egbo's got such great hops, and again, that's that matchup that's just favorable right now for Baylor between Egbo and Spiller, #11 on the inside for Hawaii.
This is Jamie Asbury, and that jumper misses everything. Good hustle play from Smith, but she gets it right in the hands of Atwell. Loses it for a moment, now kicks out. Asia Phillips out to Olivia Davies. And the first 3 of the ball game off the mark. They'd made their first 2.
Hawaii's going to get looks at the offensive end. It's not like Baylor has the depth to be able to pressure full court or even in the half-court situation for 40.
Egbo looking for the baseline jumper. It's no good. 2 defenders around Smith, and she tips it, keeps it alive, and Jordan Lewis cleans it up and will head to the line.
Jordan Lewis, the newcomer of the year in the Big 12 Conference, and it's been her steadiness, I think. She spent 5 years at Alabama, transferred here as a graduate student, and spending her time here. She has been solid. You know, you look at Baylor and their perimeter, they don't have a lot of size, so they need to certainly be able to take a lot of contact, play a lot of minutes.
She's just 5'7", but so strong. 6th-year grad student. Earned a Master's of Business from Alabama in 2021 and is finishing her career with the Baylor Bears, and what a great year. First team all Big 12.
Part of that starting 5 for Baylor that is very experienced with all seniors out there. I know Asbury's listed as a junior, but this is her 4th season in college basketball.
Nene Calhoun on the floor for the Wahine, and the floater too strong. Smith posting up down low against the smaller Atwell, and then she flips it cross court. Now back to Smith after the reversal.
Good defense right there by Hawaii.
Three ball. Andrews off the mark. Queen Egbo had her hands on it, but instead it's Atwell into the front court. Three ball attempt, short.
Yeah, a lot of contact on that shot right there. Atwell wanted a foul called as she let it go.
Then Orji on the floor for Hawaii, number 14 in black. That one was a hustle play and tipped off of a bear. Hawaii has a lot of depth, a lot of bodies, as Coach Beeman will rotate players. Three ball circling in and out for the hands of Orji, and so the Baylor Bears will push. Inside, two bodies surrounding Smith, and Hawaii comes away with a turnover.
A nice job by Baylor in transition defense. Just an ill-advised pass at the one end. They need to get back and make up for that, and they did.
Phillips sizing up the defense, kicks it to Atwell to the right of the rim. Oh, great look-ahead feed, and that one is an easy bucket from Sarah Andrews, but all set up on the beautiful pass.
Baylor certainly looking to push on these missed baskets by Hawaii.
Davies, short on the three attempt.
There's that versatility, yeah.
Yeah, she takes the board and now she dribbles it up. Down low, Egbo, good deep position. Somehow that one won't drop.
A terrific box out right there by Atwell.
Atwell is matched up with the 6'4" Smith and has held her own so far. Oh, Phillips meets Queen Egbo and gets it sent back. Oh, lob play to Smith, led her too far though, and that's going to be a turnover. That would have been a highlight play. Andrews trying to connect with Smith, but instead it's going to be Hawaii basketball out of the timeout. The 15 seed looking to make some history. No 15 seed has ever won a game in the NCAA tournament. Looking for the alley-oop to the dynamic Smith, but can't connect. Title IX in its 50th year. And two of the great ones right there. Laura Beeman for Hawaii, and of course Nikki Collin in her first year here at Baylor, coming from the WNBA.
Caitlin Bickle in the lineup now, the super sub off the bench for Baylor.
Had the 2-on-1, but Hawaii does a nice job getting back defensively, and now the over and back call. So Hawaii not giving up on that play defensively, hustles back to force the turnover.
Yeah, a really good start for Hawaii. This score right now, just 2 points, and we kind of expected this to be a little bit of a blowout, but I think Hawaii is very well coached. They have a team with Coach Beeman that's been together for 10 years. They care about each other. They have experience. And number 25 in black, don't underestimate the power of this team wanting to play and win for her and show well.
As we mentioned, big underdogs. No 15 has ever beat a 2 seed on the women's side of the tournament. Onto the floor now, number 2 with the ball in her hands, Ashley Tongs. This is Calhoun looking to turn the corner, but good defense there by Asbury. Shot clock at 4, thrown up there off the rim by Toms, collected by Nena Orji, but it will be Baylor basketball. Jaden Owens onto the floor now for the Bears. A very short rotation for Baylor.
Just 7 deep for Baylor that play on an ongoing basis. They have 9 players on their roster.
2 on the shot clock, into the lane, at the buzzer. Jordan Lewis connects.
Again, that experience and that simply having a head about you and knowing how much time's on the clock. Terrific leadership at the guard position, and that's what you need this time of year, both offensive and defensive end.
A lot of new faces for Baylor this season as they earned that 2 seed. Atwell, soft touch on the baseline goes.
Yeah, she's taking a couple of outside shots. They are taking that away from her now and does a good job of putting it on the deck.
Lewis, strong, take and run.
Are you kidding me right there? I haven't seen that move out of her this season. Gosh, it went into the floor. We've seen some good plays, and we expected to see this matchup with Atwell and Smith. But here's the answer by Baylor and Lewis. Putting it on the floor, going to the rim. Not a lot of contact there. We've seen that. We saw that in game 1 where people were, it was just so physical inside, and then there would be what seemed to us as a ticky-tack foul.
And that personal will go on Amy Atwell, Hawaii's leading scorer at 17 per game.
Great help.
Nearly a pick there by Smith.
Well, Baylor's switching everything on these screens on the basketball. They can switch 1 through 5 with their players.
Becky David on the floor for the Wahine. Into the lane and rejected is Calhoun. And Baylor quick trigger 3, no good, but Bickle underneath somehow. She can't get that to go. You can hear the groan of the crowd. They thought that one was automatic. Oh, and now out of control, Atwell loses the grip. And after missing the bucket, Bickle says, all right, I made up for it. I just sacrificed my money.
That is not what Caitlin Bickle was saying. She's still hitting herself because she's upset about missing the basket at the other end of the floor. But this is what Bickle does. High IQ, knows the scouting report, prepared. And remember, Bickle is part of those 3 players that were with the national championship team 3 years ago. So Queen Egbo, Melissa Smith, Caitlin Bickle all have that experience, and they have the taste. They know what it's all about.
Bickle is a senior from Cave Creek, Arizona. Owens, deep 3 off the front rim and hauled in by Liv Davies. So Hawaii competing here in the first quarter within 4 of the mighty Baylor Bears, turning the corner and drawing the foul. It's a good, strong take by Orji, and she gets the foul on Smith.
Spiller went out of this game pretty quickly, number 11 for Hawaii, and Orji's really come in and provided a little bit more bulk and versatility, I think, out there.
So Smith will take a break. She picks up that first personal. She has yet to score, and 8.5 minutes have gone by. She was injured in the Big 12 championship game, got an MRI on that knee. They said she is good to go, and of course finished that game, the loss to Texas. And the NCAA Women's Championship presented by Capital One, the Sweet 16 and Elite 8 coming up March 25th through 28th, the Final Four in Minneapolis on April Fool's Day, and then the championship on the 3rd.
What a great town to have a Final Four. Minnesota and Minneapolis, they will be great hosts. It's been such an exciting Final Four when fans have been allowed, but last season, obviously, in the bubble, as we see Owens go to the rack. 2 years ago, the Final Four canceled. All of NCAA postseason play canceled. Excited to get back to a real Final Four.
Absolutely. So many stars in this year's tournament.
So much parity in this year's tournament.
To the lane, strong finish there. That is Orji, who's come on and really provided energy for the Rainbows.
Come on, she just has so much energy out there right now. Is very, very excited. Watch her reaction after she makes this tough shot on the baseline. She's very excited. She, this is the thing, is this is a group of players with Hawaii that are very confident. They care about each other. They have great chemistry. They know their roles.
And she's able to complete the three-point play, 55% free throw shooter, getting that one to roll in. That ball tipped out of the hands of Asbury, but recovered. Bickle spins off of Orji, big 1-2 in the lane, and she cashes it in.
So impressive. Bickle is just really a valuable sixth player off the bench, and again, part of that 7-player rotation that Baylor has, and she can play at the 3, she can play at the 4, give different looks.
Less than a second differential between the shot and game clock here to end the first quarter. Underneath, nice catch, nearly kisses it off the glass. 4 to go here. Andrews from 3, lets it go, and it's off the back rim. This crowd waiting with anticipation, but a good first quarter for Hawaii. The Big West champs in the regular season and in the tournament, and they are within.
Going in circles like run, run. Very animated in her own way, animated on the sideline.
Yeah, there's no question. She said we had to get over the hurdle. I'm not that Hall of Fame coach that was here, and we have to be different. And people have to be okay with us being different, and their different has certainly been good as they were the regular season champs in the Big 12 and then, of course, made it to the Big 12 tournament championship game before falling to UT. Inside, Bickle gets knocked to the deck, and she'll head to the line.
And how about this for a stat? Baylor right now with 16 points. 5 players have scored, none of them named Smith.
Smith not on the floor here to start the second quarter. She has 1 personal foul.
That's something we'll see, though, with Nikki Collin with that short bench. She keeps people fresh. She wants to get people in and out of the game. And she said that. She said, if you look at our stat sheet over the course of the season, we have nobody that's averaging more than like 32, 34 minutes per game. And that's because she tries to get them in and out as much as possible.
Smith looking like a boxer with all those fingers taped up.
Should have been in that last game.
Yeah, physical. No question. So Bickle splits a pair, the 79% foul shooter. Liv Davies sizing up Owens and now kicks it. Toms falls to the deck, gets it to Jackie David, and that one is off the mark. Bickle looking for Queen Egbo. Double team comes, nearly ripped away, but forced to kick it out. And Lewis knocks it in.
It's great to have 3-point shooters on the perimeter when you have a player like Egbo, Smith that draws so much attention on the interior. You can have those outside shooters that make teams pay.
Lewis, a 39% three-point shooter. Great inside-outside combination with Smith this season. Imai gets it poked away.
Well, for Baylor, they love to go high-low, whether it's from Bickle to Egbo or with Smith in there. And when they do that, and when there's 3 players dropping down, trying to take away that inside game, that outside game becomes very important. And it's been really how they've made their living this season, having a solid, balanced outside and inside game.
Davies gets in the lane, ends up on the floor, and Baylor has the basketball. Andrews down low, finds Queen, and she puts it home easily.
Well, that's the thing with Queen Egbo and also with Melissa Smith. They are rim runners. They get down the floor very, very fast. You cannot take a break.
A 6-0 Baylor run to start the second quarter. That is what Nikki Collin was looking for. It's their largest lead of the game. They're up by 10. No matter what happens today, that's my winner right there. The guy from Baylor wearing the bear hat. He is fired up as Baylor is on a 6-0 run in less than 2 minutes to start the second quarter, and their defense leading to offense, Andrea.
Yeah, especially the last couple of minutes defensively. When you have somebody like Queen Egbo with that size on the inside and quick hands of the guards. But watch Egbo right here. She's at one end of the floor, and guess who catches it at the other end of the floor? Egbo, quite the stats already with 6 points, 4 rebounds, 2 blocks. That's 14 points in the paint for Baylor already.
Queen Egbo, one of the best pure athletes. You could put her on a track and field event. She might be a decathlon champion. Jackie Trainer-Kersey, like, she can fly and get up off the floor as well.
She's one of those players you hate in preseason because when you're doing those preseason workouts on the track, she's forcing you to look bad.
Yeah, she just glides around easily as she comes away with the defensive board and Baylor on the run. Mickle. No contact there, and Spiller comes away with it. And taken right back by Owens. Owens from 3, trying to earn it off that steal. And instead, Amy Atwell and Hawai'i into the front court. Hawai'i has yet to score here in the second.
Yeah, well, watch Baylor. They're switching everything. So you go from having a small guard to a big, and it's just so tough to even get the ball towards the paint.
And called for steps, so another turnover against Hawai'i. That is their 5th so far in this game compared to the 3 of Baylor. And still no Nalissa Smith, who's getting an extended rest on the bench. She has yet to score, and yet Baylor with a 10-point lead.
I think if you can get Smith a chance to rest in this tournament early on, that's probably a good thing. Played a lot of minutes here this season. A lot of tough minutes, with a lot of double teams and people draped all over her.
Free ball is short from Andrews. Atwell already with 6 rebounds, make it 7 on that one. And now the ball in her hands.
Nice.
Stripped away.
Yeah, terrific hedge right there by Queen Egbo.
No, but she says, I don't care, I'll go from deep, and she knocks it in. That's her 3rd 3 of the game. She is 3 for 5 from deep.
Yeah, we see that talent out there of her scoring. She has worked at her game over the last couple of years, as Atwell has.
She lost 25 pounds in the off-season. That one rolls all the way around and down for Sarah Andrews.
Well, I think Atwell came in not even really wanting or thinking about playing college basketball, ended up coming to the States, didn't look at any other colleges other than Hawaii. As we said, she's from Perth, Australia, so ended up in Hawaii a couple of years there. I think she tore her ACL one year and then just finally decided, hey, I'm going to put the work in, put the time in, and changed her body, changed her style, became more than just a shooter.
And you see those free throw numbers. She is pure 85% foul shooter, and Baylor forced to foul her on the 3-point attempt after she's already knocked down 3.
My favorite note on Atwell is during COVID, a lot of time you were on the island. It was really brutal, especially for Hawaii. They played only 15 games, I believe, that season. And she said, I learned to play the ukulele and surf.
Hey, those are 2 pretty good hobbies. If you're stuck anywhere in the world, I'd want to be stuck in Hawaii for COVID restrictions, right?
Yeah, you would maybe, but it was pretty tough. I think it took its toll on the team, and it seems like it would be paradise, but I'm not so sure that was always the case.
Smith short on the jumper, but her teammate Egbo gives her another look, and she puts that one home. That's her first bucket, coming at the 5:30 mark of the second quarter.
And Baylor isn't just standing around. They're following shots. They're hitting the offensive boards. They're being very active.
Davies out to Spiller. She's looking for the 3, and she finds the bottom of the hoop.
Yeah, I love her shot. She is so deceptive. Her ability to step out. She's got deep range. At the trail, she can trail and hit that 3. Hawai'i in a zone now.
Egbo will turn face. Too strong, but the offensive board by Lewis. Nice high-low game. Egbo leaves it short, and Spiller collects the rebound.
Good job by Spiller just to stay vertical right there. Egbo's so difficult to guard on the interior.
Calhoun asks for the pick on ball. Now kicks it to Davies. Up and under, and the wild shot. Oh, bounce pass on a dime. That was gorgeous, and Andrews finishes.
She was watching her third base coach over there on the sideline, and round in third, getting home.
Well, that pass off the floor right into the hands of Andrews. Jordan Lewis, well done.
We've seen a couple of tremendous passes here in the last, the game earlier today and then this game. Long passes on mark.
Phillips loses control, but is able to get it right back. 4 on the shot clock. Spiller, and it is collected by Smith. Who is beating everybody to the cup for 2.
When you're in a zone, you have to make sure you get back and turned around. And right now, Hawaii is just not matching up with the ball handlers or finding people and protecting the rim.
Lewis, 11 points in double figures and perfect from the floor, 4 of 4. Atwell, how good is she? Deep range. Atwell averages 17. She's got 17 already here in the second quarter.
I think if you give her any room, she's willing to shoot the basketball, unafraid to shoot it from range, and you see that penetration against this zone again. Just picking apart the Hawaii zone, into the creases, doing the right things.
And Egbo now with 8 points. Atwell behind the screen, leaves that one short, and off to the races. Here's Smith, and she can't haul it in.
I was watching Alyssa Smith down there trying to guard Atwell, and I think she was talking to her coach on the sideline who had said, you gotta get out on her because Atwell is hot.
Atwell, 17 points, but this has been the play so far. Look at this dime, right in stride, and Andrews catches it, lays it in, but Atwell says, all right, Smith, right over the top of you. And it's
right here. Needs to get back on defense, control the paint a little more. Right now, Baylor is making a living in there. 24 points in the paint.
Laura Beeman, the head coach for Hawaii, said about Atwell that she's not really a vocal leader. She's just a really humble kid, but she's most definitely a leader by example. And boy, is she doing that in this season. The MVP of the Big West. There's Jackie David, puts it on the glass, goes right at Egbo, but can't get it to roll in.
Yeah, nice job of protecting the basketball on that shot.
Smith, right by Atwell, splits the defense, and she's got 4. And now taken away by Owens for the second time today. She picks the ball in the backcourt.
Owens has really come on late in the season. She has come off the bench all season long to give minutes, but she's very productive. She's so quick out there. I think that's going to be so important for her to play well down the stretch in the tournament.
David sizes up the 3 to the left. Lewis looking at Smith, posting up down low against Atwell, and now they reverse it. Egbo spinning away from the defense. Gorgeous move by Queen Egbo.
Yeah, and showed a tremendous amount of patience on that move, something maybe she hasn't done in the past, but has really improved her game, I think. Facing up to the basket, catching on the move.
That footwork was on point.
Wow, look at that defense by Lewis.
Now a 14-point lead for the Bears, and taken away, but a foul called against Melissa Smith. She does not like it. That is going to be her second personal. And Nikki Collin is going to have to come get her 2-time All-American Melissa Smith. Just 4 points, 5 boards. But when she's been on the floor, she's been matched up with Amy Atwell. Atwell has found success. Now Bickle's going to be out on Atwell. Down low, Orgy just turns, spins, and finds an easy bucket in the lane.
Yeah, impressive pass and an impressive move on the inside. Orgy's just a freshman. Had to look at that twice.
Yeah, her body certainly does not look like a freshman. She's got the frame of a senior, taken away by Calhoun. The speedster into the front court. Bounce pass ahead to Atwell, and she kicks it to Davies. Too strong, but there's Orgy tracking it down. And into the hands of Meilani McBee, and back to Calhoun. Atwell draws the foul against Bickle, and she shakes her head.
Well, certainly Baylor has been told their players need to get a hand in the face of Atwell, who's shooting the ball extremely well. It should have happened from the beginning of the game, because you know the scout on that young lady. Look at the scoring for Atwell and the rest of the team. We saw that there for a moment.
Well, Atwell has hit 4 threes, and it has been fouled in the middle of attempting 2 more threes. So she is 5 of 5 from the line, and this will be number 6 coming up, the 85% foul shooter. And not even the horn blowing in the middle of her free throw knocked her off, as with 26 seconds to go before halftime, Coach Beeman comes and gets her.
Yeah, and this is something I haven't seen much of for Baylor this season, playing 4 guards in the lineup with just 1 big. Certainly you want to finish the quarter without getting your bigs in more foul trouble, so get them off the floor. But this shows the limited depth that Baylor has.
Lewis using the screen. A foul called, trying to get over the top of it.
Hawai'i foul on number 45
is against Liv Davies. That is her first personal. Need to let it go here. 1 second, and they're not even going to get a shot off. Hawaii's defense holds tough, and Hawaii has been tough here. The 15 seed has been competitive in this one. The Big West regular season and tournament champs have not looked intimidated, and they've got a phenomenal performance in the first half from Amy Atwell. She's already got 20. And Baylor has work to do.
Yeah, Atwell was tremendous in that first half with her shooting. And how about Baylor with their points in their paint, their transition points? Lewis looked tremendous.
Well, Atwell certainly did some big-time work. 20 points, 5 of 8 from the floor. It is the halftime Degree in the Studio show. Elle Duncan, Rebecca Lobo, and Nikki Fargas take it from here.
Outside more, but really for Baylor, they have really good outside shooters.
Well, the one interesting thing for Atwell is that she's been guarded by either Smith or Bickle, that height, but they haven't really slowed her down at all. Smith with the jumper leaves it short to start this second half, but Baylor gets it right back.
Well, a couple of things you'll probably see in the second half is how do you get Melissa Smith a little bit more involved offensively? Quiet first half for her. Spent a lot of time on the bench, and this is where she can do some work. She can be dangerous on the offensive boards when she hits them. But the second thing is when they're switching 1 through 5 defensively and man-to-man is what adjustments can be made here to get in Atwell's face to guard her.
So Smith with the O-board put back.
To start off here in the second half, they've put Lewis on Atwell.
Yeah, I think Atwell with 20 points in the first half. Defensive change, see if somebody else can take her. Lewis gets it stripped. And now here is Kelsey Imai. Gives it to Davies. Hawaii with 5 made threes in this one to just 1 for Baylor, but that one won't go.
And again, Hawaii is getting some looks. They just need to shoot the ball a little bit better when they have those open looks.
Oh, you can't stop that. Melissa Smith, quiet in the first half, but already with 5 here in the first 90 seconds.
Well, I like the fact that Smith hit the offensive boards that time down. I think those kind of things can really get you going more in the flow of the game. And then she's got that range this year. Her percentage isn't great, but she can shoot the ball from 3.
Spiller trying to answer that one off the back iron and then just fell right in the cup.
Yeah, second 3 for Spiller in this game. Again, the 5 position, tough to guard.
Sarah Andrews lets it fly. And the smallest player on the floor, Kelsey Imai, pulls it in.
And goes down the court with her only speed, which is full speed.
Drops it to Spiller, but she leaves the baseline jumper short. Oh, Smith saw Egbo flash open for a minute, instead gets to Lewis, and she just puts 3 fingers in the air. She knew that was down.
The great part about Smith rebounding the ball and pushing is you can get your shooters down in those corners really, really quick. Lewis loves that shot. Jamie Asbury loves that shot. And there you see Lewis guarding Atwell. This will be the tough part. She will go down on the block and post you up. So with that size, Atwell can also do that.
Uh-oh, here's Smith. Beautiful look off there to Lewis, and she's fouled. Doesn't get the bucket. That would have brought the house down here in the Farrell Center, the home floor of the Baylor Bears.
Been back and forth with Lewis and Smith. They've been finding each other, and see that range that Smith has, and getting the rebound. And here's where her versatility plays a role. And look at just jogging down the side of the court, finding her spot right there and waiting for the basketball as Lewis. Baylor really shares the ball well. It's not, I don't think there's ever a time where I've seen somebody just go one-on-one multiple times down the floor. There's times where Smith might be frustrated and take a quick shot, but they're pretty disciplined and sharing team.
I absolutely love Melissa Smith's game. I think she is going to be a star at the next level.
Well, how about us getting to call games this weekend with 3 players that could go in the top 10 of the WNBA draft? Melissa Smith projected as the #1 pick right now.
It'd be hard not to take her, as she can do it all. And she's got that confidence. I just think she is competitive. Ball stripped away. Ooh, fancy dribbling there to keep control by Andrews. Now looking for Smith on the alley-oop, and she gets it to go. That was beautiful. And a smart timeout here is the lead now 17. Whatever Nikki Collins said at halftime, it has been Melissa Smith and the Baylor Bears taking control. And we've got a timeout by Hawaii. 17-point lead by the Bears. 2-seed Baylor with their largest lead of the game against the 15-seed Hawai'i Rainbow Wahine, 49-32. This Baylor team lost the first 2 games of the Big 12 regular season under first-year head coach Nikki Collin, and they were challenged. Nalissa Smith, said that people doubted us and didn't know if we were still going to be that team to beat in the Big 12. And they came back and were able to win the Big 12 regular season title. Lost in the Big 12 tournament championship game, but they seem like a hungry team.
I think they are a very hungry team, and they rattled off a number of wins to be able to come away with that Big 12 tournament or regular season title, and took a lot of effort. But you know, they had a sit down after those first 2 losses in conference play, and I know that Nikki Collin and the team really had to sit down and talk to each other about, you know, who are we? What is our identity? What do we want to accomplish this season? And I think they had a turnaround there that was historic, as we've seen Lewis just to continue to be dominant out there on the floor. And this is, as you said, a hungry team. I mean, a team where they have 3 players that won the national championship 3 years ago, and some new players that have transferred in and want to be part of big things, and players like Lewis that want to show that they can be great on a national stage.
She can't complete the 3-point play, but look who's there, Nalissa Smith, and she lets out a scream as she has come to play in the second half. She's got 13 now, 6 of 10 from the floor.
Yeah, newfound energy, and I think Nikki Collin also moving her around a little bit so she can get to those offensive boards. Handling the rock, like here in the second half, I think Melissa Smith's rebounding has been dominant, and she's able to get the ball down the floor quickly, get directly into the offense.
Egbo can't convert on the high-low opportunity, and then is called for the reach on the offensive rebound attempt.
You know, and when we talk about Baylor and hunger, we talk about last season and in the bubble when Baylor lost that game to UConn, and late in the game there was a no call, and I have a picture of it out on my computer right now, and it's no way that that is not a foul against UConn, but robbed from being able to go to the final, not robbed, but had an opportunity to go to the Final Four. Robbed might be a little overstating it.
Well, it certainly was a game that drew a lot of attention when Dejanay Carrington went up, no whistle, and Baylor went home in the Elite Eight. Felt like they deserved a trip to that Final Four, and Queen Egbo, Nalissa Smith both back. and trying to get to that Final Four and more. Both part of that national championship team as freshmen. Here's Smith. Oh, she is hitting everything right now, putting on a show.
I think that's where Smith has just really improved her game this season, is her ability to hit tough twos. And that was just a straight-on shot, but sometimes her ability to turn around and shoot in the face of a defender.
Asia Phillips has been quiet in this one. She misses that, just 2 shots. Here's Smith, spin move over the top of Davies, and she's fouled and will head to the free throw line. So Nalissa Smith and the Baylor Bears pulling away here in the third. Watch her and what she can do. She's hit jumpers, she's turned in face, spin move, block shots. She really, at 6'4", the way that she moves, we were talking about how she covers the ball up like a football when she's heading through the lane and trying to split the defense.
Yeah, that's part of her game that she's added. She sort of tucks it in as she goes in so she doesn't show the ball to the defense. Saw Caitlin Bickle do that as well.
22.5 points per game this season. Career highs in points, 11.5 rebounds, career high in made threes.
And she's been
and
on
a
a tear.
79% foul shooter.
Yeah, and she's been on a tear as of late. You know, Baylor didn't win the game in the Big 12 championship, but she had some career highs late in the season and was scoring, you know, an average of something like 33 points in the last few games. And a 27-point average as we see a terrific shot. The first look, really, that Atwell's had here today.
Yeah, that's her first
in the second half.
Make in the second half, as she had 20 at halftime, and now that 3-ball going down, so she is 5 of 8 from deep. Quite a show put on by the Big West MVP. Smith trying to find Egbo, deflected, and out to Asbury, taking it out of the air is Smith, and she shows her power.
Really, really strong putback right there, and just an air ball by Asbury, which is a rarity, but we'll just call it a pass. You can see her determination, Smith's determination here in the second half. She maybe didn't come out as hard as she could have, and is the second half.
She's got 15 points in the third quarter alone.
6.5 minutes.
Oh, and here's Jordan Lewis. She's been strong throughout, and she's greeted by her buddy Queen Egbo, who puts the muscles up to flex. And they are flexing on Hawai'i right now. Yeah, the smile's coming out. Sometimes it takes a little while. You get so much adrenaline to start the NCAA tournament. Baylor on their home floor here. Nice crowd out here on this Friday afternoon with the number 2 seed in the Wichita region. And the foul called as Nene Calhoun trying to turn the corner on the baseline.
And that foul on Bickle right there, just not getting her body over. One of the rare times. That's her 4th foul here.
That's her 4th foul, and yet Nikki Collin leaving her on the floor, and Phillips getting on the board. Asia Phillips, the 5'10", second-year freshman out of Vegas.
That's Phillips' first make of the day. 1 for 4 on the day.
Ooh, and rejected there by Liv Davies. Nice play in the rotation.
Yeah, we talk about who can help Atwell out there. Phillips is definitely one of those players that's got some athletic ability to get to the rim, hit the boards.
Yeah, Baylor has switched it up. Atwell was guarded by the bigs in the first half, and she had any shot she wanted, scoring 20. The guards have done their job on Atwell here in the second. Orji kind of flips it up over her head, and it won't drop.
Here comes Lewis again.
Smith, 1-2, knocks it in. 21 now for Nalissa Smith, almost at her average. She had 4 at halftime.
Well, and all the points in the third quarter coming from Smith and Lewis. Those two looking at each other, finding each other.
Orji looking for the 3-ball. Is everything. And now Lewis on the move, and she'll get fouled in the act by Davies. Jordan Lewis has another gear.
Yes, she does. And when she's ready to play, it starts out in another gear from the get-go. I love the fact that they made the adjustment at half, switched off Nalissa Smith and Bickle off of Atwell. I think one of the things that Coach Nikki Collin does this season is she gives Smith and some of the bigs the opportunity to guard players on the perimeter, and it's worked. Smith guarded Jones for Iowa State, did a terrific job. Today, just that range that Atwell has was giving them a lot of problems, so guarding Atwell with a guard has worked very well here in the third quarter.
Jordan Lewis continues to add to her total. She's got 21 points, 7 of 8 shooting, and 5 assists. Spiller leaves it short, and Smith with the rebound. She's up to 13 boards. And a bucket the other way for Bickle.
Yeah, and that's the thing right now, when you have Smith guarding somebody that's closer to the basket, she's able to rebound better, and she's done that here in the second half.
It's actually 14 boards for Smith. The tally coming on late. Becky David, deep position, kicks it out. Davies, no good. And a foul going the other way.
Jordan Lewis is all over the place, defending the perimeter, getting the rebounds, making plays at both ends of the floor.
Well, Baylor came out after halftime, and they have improved dramatically on both ends of the floor. The lead was only 9 at halftime. It's at 30.
What a luxury for Nikki Collin to have a player like Jordan Lewis transfer in with her. And I mean, this is a young lady that averaged 17 points a game in the SEC at Bama, and talked to Nikki Collin last summer when Nikki took the job, and Nikki thought she had to do a sales job, and Jordan Lewis, once she got on the phone with her, she said, Coach, you don't need to say anything. You recruited me when I was coming out of high school. I know who you are. I know what you're about. I'm in. So she just, immediately came into this group, bought into what Coach Collin was doing. And you need that. You need people that are going to buy in, so the group will buy in and believe in themselves.
Well, Bickle says, you're not getting that one inside, but then take it away. And Phillips. And then Owens deflects it. Here's Andrews. Just can't maintain the handle. She wipes her hand off on her jersey.
Andrews is a tremendous guard out there. The youngster out there as a sophomore. Coach Nikki says she's going to be a player that's going to play at the next level. She's going to be a tremendous guard in the league.
Now it's Asbury from deep. And skying high for the rebound was Egbo, and she is fouled by Callan Spiller. 6'3", Seattle native at Lakeside High School. Spent 1 year at Seattle U and then Columbia, and has found her way to Hawaii. But it is Queen Egbo at the line for the Bears.
You and I talked yesterday about how unusual the path was for Spiller to come all the way from the East Coast to the West Coast to Hawaii. What a great opportunity for her to spend a year in Hawaii and help that program. And I think a lot of transfers, when you go into the transfer portal, probably look at Hawaii and go, why not? I can go be part of a program that's well coached and spend a year there.
Pull-up jumper just off the mark.
I'm going to tell you something. I was a really good rebounder. I would not want to go up against Queen Egbo.
I got a Hall of Famer sitting next to me. That's saying something.
My Lord.
15 seconds to go here in the third quarter. It has been all Bears here in the third frame. Andrews gets it in, kicks it out to Asbury, and that three is pure. An exclamation point to end the third quarter. Dominant. 34-8. The score here in the third quarter. Nalissa Smith, 21 points now. She had 4 at the half and 14 boards to go with it. She is putting on a show. And Albany, that's coming up after our game on ESPN2. Basketball all day, every day this first weekend. We've got 1 quarter to go here in Waco, Texas. The Farrell Center on the campus of Baylor. The home squad is Spiller. Can't get that one to go underneath. It's actually interesting, this Farrell Center was built, the dome on the outside, if you've ever been to Honolulu and seen where Hawaii plays, it's the same dome as the 3-ball hit, and that is Sarah Andrews, the 5'6" sophomore. But Hawaii certainly felt at home here with all the green seats, and it's certainly the gym inside looks like their home arena, the Stan Sheriff Center.
That's pretty remarkable when you look in the media information guide and you look at those photos. They look exactly alike, just a little bit different in size. Certainly Baylor feels comfortable in this arena.
There is no doubt. Sarah Andrews with another bucket, and Hawaii now sees a 40-point deficit as Baylor is just taking control.
Yeah, now Sarah Andrews guarding Atwell. A little bit of a broken play, but a good basket. That Spiller on the inside.
Well, it was all Amy Atwell in the first half, and now Baylor has brought a whole lot of help.
Jamie Asbury misses that shot. She's 1 for 5 from 3 today. Normally a really, really reliable 3-point shooter. I expect her to bounce back as days go by.
Now, this Baylor team has a lot of different weapons. Short bench, foul trouble could really be their Achilles heel in a tournament situation, but their 7 are strong. They shoot 35% from 3 as a team. Oh, great take. No resistance there, and Sarah Andrews rolls it in.
And I mentioned that Coach Nikki Collin talked about her being at the next level type of player as she gets older, just a sophomore right now. You're starting to see that with some of the moves she makes.
Deja Phillips gets into the paint, but shot won't go. Spiller out to Atwell. It's a little bit of room, and that one won't go down, but the O board by Spiller does. Inside, deep position for Igbo. Double team comes, kicks it out. Andrews looking for another, and she backpedals before that ball went down. She knew it was in.
Oh, she is definitely feeling it out there. You can tell by the look in her eye. She's also guarding Atwell at the other end. That's the thing about Baylor. They have such a diverse array of players out there that anybody can get hot at any time. So we've seen Andrews get hot. Lewis has been playing great this game.
Spiller, little shot put over the top of the defense, off the back rim. Andrews now with 16 points. She is 7 of 10 from the floor. Melissa Smith over there getting some rest here in the 4th quarter, under 7 to play. Asbury. No.
Yeah, a little frustrated out there. Saw a little shoulder shrug right there. Not happy with the fact that her shot isn't falling today.
Now just 1 of 8 3-points for Asbury. She's had plenty of games. The transfer from Oklahoma State. Nice spin move from Liv Davies. And another transition opportunity. Ball is kicked. A wave of subs coming in for Laura Beeman. The last 5 champions. Everybody complained about UConn. They were too good with the 4 straight titles under Brianna Stewart. And since that time, 5 different championships every single year. What do you think that says?
Oh, I just think it shows how many great teams there are out there. And guess what? Have you been to the Final Four recently?
Yes.
Like, the last 2 years been tough, obviously, not having the Final Four 2 years ago and in the bubble last year in San Antonio. But those games, you know, they've been decided by 1, 2, 3 points.
You won the national championship 40-0 in '86 with Texas.
Thanks for the extra 4 wins. 36.
Was it 36-0? I was thinking it was 40.
That's right.
Okay, you're right.
That's right.
So 36-0, an undefeated national championship. now compared to how many different teams can win a national championship? How is it different in your opinion with the parity?
Yeah, I think there's a lot more parity, and there's a lot more teams that have an opportunity to win a championship. And I'll tell you what, it was hard to win back then. We were talking earlier that my teams, when I played at Texas, 4 years, our team was ranked #1 at the end of the season in the polls, and we only made it to the Final Four twice and won once. So with the parity that there is today, it's just so difficult. But it makes it fun, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. Onto the floor, Kendra Gillespie for the Bears. Her shot off the mark, and now Asbury looking to get hot. Oh, that one just would not go down, and she looks in the sky. Imai gets a pick from Atwell. And that jumper misses the mark. This Baylor team, we talk about national championship contenders. They felt all season that they were going to get a #1 seed, but they lose to Texas in the Big 12 tournament championship game, and they drop to a 2 seed. They are definitely a national championship contender, though, don't you think?
I do think. I think they're a team that is motivated, hungry. They have been on a roll as of late, minus that Texas loss in the Big 12 tournament. But, you know, it's a team that's had to work at the polls and also with their seeding to get up there towards the top.
Well, it has been all Baylor in the second half. 82-44, their advantage here. 4:38 to go. Champs got everybody back besides Kiana Williams this year. They're #2. Anything else jump out to you?
Well, I'm very surprised that Baylor isn't up there.
Absolutely.
And, you know, Texas, UConn, I think both of those teams have some things to prove. Obviously, Texas has that very intense, full in-your-face, man-to-man defense that they play, and they have won the Big 12 tournament, beat Baylor as of late, but that's, I guess, why you play the games, and that's good locker room material for Baylor.
I was just going to say, if you needed something to motivate your team, you put the ESPN BPI for Nikki Collin and the Baylor Bears.
Interestingly, this Baylor team is just all business. That's what I like, as we see the freshman Gillespie go to work on the inside. She's been in for about 3 or 4 minutes, I think, getting some minutes in this game. Extremely talented.
She wants to be a head coach at the collegiate level when she's all done playing. And I love the post players. You get a lot of guards out there that are the head coaches. Where's the bigs at? And Donovan, one of the best out there. She was a great post as a head coach. Nothing against the guards, but so Bickle back on Atwell. Atwell how her way in the first half. Gets a good look. But that one is short.
Sarah Andrews continues to push tempo here. She's done that in the third quarter.
Gillespie, good footwork. Her bench wanted that. They were on their feet. But the shot won't go. Atwell. Oh, that was a pretty finish and one through contact for Atwell.
On the help defense, just a little bit late there by Gillespie. And you have to believe that if you are Bickle out there with 4 fouls, you're sort of protecting yourself. You don't want to get your 5th. You want to stay out there and play. She's guarding Atwell, which is a tough job.
Atwell, 28 points, 11 boards, make it 29 points. She is going to go down as one of the best players in Hawaii history. The top 10 scorers all time, #1 3-point shooter. And she proved today she can play with anybody. She will be a pro, the Australian native, the 6th-year senior with just an outstanding final season in college ball.
Did you hear how Gillespie popped that ball on the rebound?
What a dime to Bickle, post to post. And she gets a big smile and the crowd loves it.
Well, she's going to be an exciting player in the future, a young lady that can handle the basketball, has got versatility, creativity.
Now, this Hawaii squad was right there at halftime. They were within 9. Atwell carried them. She can't hit that 3. She had 20 when we went to break.
Those
This
adjustment
Hawaii squad has a lot to be proud of as we get a substitution timeout here to take some of the stars and give a big ovation from the crowd. But that aloha spirit certainly for Hawaii as they made the trip here from Honolulu. And their best season in program history under Laura Bremen, the 10th year coach of the Rainbow Wahine. They don't get it done here against Baylor as another 3-ball goes down for Jamie Asbury.
She has such a shooter's mentality. She didn't make a lot of shots here, has been missing it, and just keeps shooting.
That is her second 3, but just 2 of 8 overall from the floor. But it has been all Baylor here in the second half. Asbury, the 5'5" junior from Tulsa, Oklahoma, wants to work the clock.
Dr. Matos also in the game for Baylor, the walk-on, number 11, the turnover.
Now Orji, with a little bit of space in transition, cut off by Bickle and then punched out of bounds. It will be Hawaii basketball.
Well, for Hawaii, they have some pieces coming back. As you see the bench over there, disappointed. I mean, they played well in the first half, and I think some of these players wanted to play better. Certainly it's tough when you're playing against a team like Baylor, but they really believed that they could compete, and they did. They were competitive in the first half.
Well, it's been a great season for Hawaii, and breaking the UC Davis streak of 5 straight championships. Hawaii getting back to the tournament for the first time since 2016. As Bickle is off the mark, and Atwell with her 12th rebound. So much to be proud of for Hawaii. And Laura Beeman says that the transfer portal is going to help that program, and she's really excited about the future and breaking through here. The offensive foul called there as Kelsey Imai cuts off Asbury. She extends that arm for the foul here with 45 seconds to go.
Well, for Hawaii, they have a couple of seniors in Atwell and Spiller.
And Spiller can come back.
Yes,
she can
exactly.
choose to come back.
Yep, she does have another year of eligibility. But so this is a young team still for Hawaii that, you know, there's tears over there on the sideline, but they have played their heart out, and they've given a lot of effort here, like everybody else in the tournament.
When you say goodbye to playing ball,
it's horrible.
It's terrible.
I don't think people realize just how devastating it is to lose a game and be just done. There's just so much emotion that goes into it, and you and I have both been in that position before. And great win by Baylor, but a really, really tough loss for this Hawaii team.
Absolutely. Nothing feels better than what Baylor has right now, and nothing feels worse for Hawaii, but they have a lot to be proud of. They put up a fight in the first half, no doubt, but this Baylor Bear team is a good one. They have been to the second round of the NCAA tournament now 19 years in a row as two teams congratulate each other. Laura Beeman of Hawaii and Nikki Collin getting her first win as a collegiate head coach in the NCAA tournament. She went to the Final Four in the Elite Eight as a player, and of course a WNBA head coach, but first year with Baylor, and they showed up today. What jumped out to you about that second half?
Well, about the second half, I thought it was a great job that Lewis and Smith were just so tremendous, I thought. They came out ready to play. 54 points in the paint. Alyssa Smith ends up with 21 points. Lewis with 23 points. I think those two players really set the tone. I thought that Queen Egbo did a nice job as well. Early in the game, that first